Hi, we are Sopoko. 42% of the Nepali population, which is 1 crore, 21 lakh and 71,000 people, have no access to power. And we believe there are two main reasons for this. One, they can't afford it. Another, they're way outside the grid. So we have come up with a business model that we believe addresses these two issues and creates impacts on health, connectivity, and education, in that order. And collectively, it improves the quality of life. The product that we have is specially targeted for low-income people. However, people who are in need of stand-alone solar home solutions can also make use of our product.
So how do we do it? We basically use two systems. One is our good old friend solar system, and the next is the use of a digital signage. So when I say digital signage, it is like using a digital screen to display some information like advertisements. So when it comes to Sopoko, the use of digital signage, it is like a use of digital tablet in which you can push the contents and deliver value to your customers. So by integrating solar system and digital signage, we create Sopoko. And also it is like a billboard, and billboard that makes sense inside your home. So now what people need? They need power. And for that they need an electric system. And what kind of electric system they need? They need a safe and bright electric system. Okay, done with that. The nugget of differentiation, it lies with our augmented product of digital signage. So by combining, by integrating the digital signage and solar system in an innovative way, we make Sopoko. And we make Sopoko in an affordable way, or in Nepali we can say it as
Sare Sasto Solar. Tara kati sasto ta? What we've done is we've designed a system for 6 LED lights, 2 cell phones, 1 LED TV, and most importantly, 1 induction cooker. The total cost of this system is 350,000. So if you go to any bank, you'll get a solar loan for 2.25% for 5 years, for which you'll pay like EMI of around 7,000. But the bigger question here is, can everyone in the 42% grid that we mentioned earlier afford this monthly expenditure? If we can bring down this cost, we can increase the usage of solar power, right? We understand the sensitivity of this issue. So if you cannot afford, what we can do is, we can increase your affordability by offering the same system for a price of 2,000 per month at 0% rate. So if you think about 2,000, this is basic expenditure that you make for your, the fuel consumption every month. So in that 2,000, what we are doing is we are offering your home solution in the form of electricity, and at the same time, we are pushing valuable contents to your home right through our system.
All right. Now, I'll shortly explain the system. The work happens on two fronts. On one front, it's the consumer's home, and then there's the central tablet that you see that connects the panels and the appliances. The solar power can, the solar system can power bulbs, and most importantly, an induction cooker. So therefore, we've created a system which can be used for smokeless cooking. So we're impacting our consumers' health on that front. Also, it can recharge cell phones, and it can also function a TV. So that's on connectivity front. And on our side, we get content from 3 major sources. One is businesses, they provide advertisements. Governments, they provide public service announcements. And universities and educational institutions that might provide content that is valuable to children in these homes. So we're impacting on health, connectivity, and education. And all of this happens through a remotely controlled digital signage system, which is like a billboard inside a home through cellular network. Now, why would advertisers be interested in a platform we've created? So the advertisement platform that we're creating, with enough screens out there, will have 5 main features. Real-time control. You want people to see your ad first thing in the morning? We can do that. You want people to see your ad the last thing before they go to sleep? We can do that. You can target ideal customers. Government can use our system to generate awareness, and the most important part, because it's going to be geographic and we can target according to geography, we can push local content from local businesses in local language. And the most important part, by the time the traditional salesperson is on your porch knocking on the door, our digital salesperson is in your kitchen already serving you the ad.
So if we talk about our cost structure, what we have is we're investing more upon the development of solar infrastructures. And at the same time, we realize the importance of human resource, logistics, and marketing, which we believe is the core to any business activity.
So how do we earn that? So EMI of just rupees 2,000 per month, it will cover the cost of around 1.5 lakh. That even does not reach the break even. So now what we do is like we use this advertisement model to create value for the customers, to create unprecedented opportunities for the advertisers, and also at the best note it create to help us to earn money for us. Implementation plan. We will be following a cluster-based approach, and also we will be working very close with our partners like government, NGOs, media, universities to make Sopoco happen.
So what we do is our system cannot function with the help of these partners. So we are Sopoco. We've created a system that uses the sun's power. We believe the best place in this world is our home, and the biggest power source is the sun. We want to use the sun's power to improve the environment at home. This is us, Sopoco. We believe our system is scalable all around the world because this business model will work anywhere we go. So the digital signage is an Android tab that is always on. It can be placed just by the store or on the customer's home, and it will have a cellular modem in it, and we'll use the cellular network to push content into the tablet.
So you mean you'll be installing a separate Android tablet at every house?
Yes.
Thank you.
So the tablet will work as a billboard, which we can access remotely.
So the tablet is the only unique thing in your solar, right? So is there anything that's different, or like the billboard? I get the tablet and billboard thing.
Yeah. So the difference is we're creating value for consumers by offering it at 2,000 rupees a month, which is just the energy consumption cost, right? And also we'll not only push advertisement. Think of it as Kantipur delivered inside your home. It will also have educational content, news, and public service announcements. So it's also a way to consume content, and also the solar is subsidized extremely because of this model, because we have a bigger revenue source.
So what happens is, if you purchase content from your local newspaper vendors, right, you have to spend 10 rupees for a newspaper. That makes 300 for a month. So if we push the news to our device, and if you can get access to those news contents, you save that money. At the same time, if a woman is working in the kitchen and if she is provided with the recipe to make something, she can use the recipe. And at the same time, while we display the recipe, we can also advertise the FMCG products that go into the recipe. So the advertisement will directly push the sale of those products. And for us, selling the solar panel is not the revenue source, but the advertisement is.
Yeah, sorry, one more. So who are your target customers? Like what's their income capacity?
So our target customers are whoever want a solar system, one. Also, because it's affordable, we believe the adoption rate is going to be massive. And once the adoption rate is great, our advertisement platform will have added value, and we believe we can attract advertisers in a major scale. However, our target audience for now is people who want off-grid solar system at a very subsidized cost, something that not even government subsidized bank loans can do.
Thank you for the presentation. It was really nice. I want to know more about the target, like the customers. Number one, that. Number two, the tablet that you've talked about. Is that one-way tablet that you have a control, or then how would you said that customize, need-based, interest-based kind of information flowing, without having the interest collection kind of process, which comes only if it's a two-way. How will you be able to provide the customized kind of services? The third part, the third part of the question is, I didn't really get how it is related to the three components that you've said: connectivity, education, and health. It did not come out very strongly. Of course, I can assume how it can have impact on health because of induction cooker and all that kind of stuff, but it didn't come out very, vividly from your presentation, apart from that one slide, half slide, in which you had this curly arrows.
So, firstly, about the customer. So, customer is, because it's going to be very cheap, we are expecting a lot of people to adopt this system. Now we are focusing on people with low income needs, so that people can finally afford electricity and power, so that they can live better, eat better, and learn better. So apart from that, anyone who buys our system. Now about how do we know where our customer is? In our implementation plan, we talked about cluster-based approach. So we'll go into one place, we'll do our efforts there, and then we'll move into other places. So when we're marketing, when we're selling our product, we'll take the data from our consumers, which we also call partners because we're not really making money out of them directly. So that is how we know which customer is where, and from geographic regions we can find out the information about these factors. Another thing, because it's a one-way, and about impact, I just want to repeat your statement that by including induction cooker, we're impacting health. By including content that we feed, we're impacting education. To some extent, I do believe that that's not a major factor, but we're impacting connectivity through rechargeable capacities and through the use of cellular network.
And that was the primary reason why we used circles and shapes, different shapes, right? Health was a bigger shape, and then connectivity, and then education. So our priority is basically on health, and then we'll go on to the connectivity, and then we are, promoting the education aspect. If you see, you can see various contents during, SLC preparation. The newspapers, they provide questions for students. If we can use those questions through our device at the home of customers, that could help the students as well. So this is how we are trying to target the students who want to learn from our system.
If I may, I would want to have one follow-up question. So is this only a print kind of tablet that you're talking about? So I'm thinking about the consumer who cannot read or write, right? So, but then like the audio, that is one. The other one is, you talked about 2000, and you assume that even low-income, like family can afford that. But did you do any back-of-the-envelope calculation of like what would be the existing cost, like what they are like paying now for all this aggregate service that you are providing, right?
Actually, we included this slide as well, and you can see that also. For this system, they are paying on average 6,675. But we are offering the same system for 2,000, and that is very subsidized, which the government is not able to provide the system at that rate. So our revenue does not depend upon the solar system. It depends upon the revenue that we generate with the companies. So yeah, if this is 7,000 from the loan that they take from banks, but for us, we are offering this for 2,000.
So we're
Able to,
I understand.
able to give
Yeah,
for
I
the
understand.
load
I
value,
understand.
right?
We haven't researched exactly what their energy consumption bill is, but we believe 2,000 collectively. We've decided that 2,000 is a good number to approach right now. Thinking about the amount of the LPG gas they consume and the amount of electricity they pay. So I think it's because we're offering lighting and cooking services. So I believe it's somewhere around there.
Yep. So just one question. What stops the consumer to put a tablecloth over the tablet and not see your content at all?
Thank you. So because the reason consumer will not, so we can't have a slide. So if you look at the slide, those grids are not all advertisements. You see, so at one time in the screen, it's not just going to be advertisement. Just think about Kantipur. It's got advertisement on the side, it's got news. So when you're consuming content, you're looking at the advertisement. You're not only consuming advertisement. And that is why I believe the consumer will not put a cloth up on the tablet.
At the same time, this is the central device that controls the entire system. So if you switch off the device, the system will not work. So if you want this system to run, you have to keep this operating. So that is the value proposition.
You have to have the tablet. So.
Also, like on the literacy note, like we also consider that the literacy thing. So we are focusing more on like graphics also in our content, so that even it's good for like people who cannot read.
The time for question answer round is over. We are really sorry for the